with what Premier Danielle Smith has said about kind of doubling down on resource revenue right now, like with our oil and our gas, kind of we're going to have this decade of this heyday. But then she even herself said that they want to go net zero by 2050. And I'll say this here. I remember hearing her at a campaign stop in August. It was August 5th, 2022. If anyone was there, they'll remember. And she was asked about this, asked about her net zero. What she was saying then, I guess, wasn't a policy quite yet, but she said that well, Alberta is actually already net zero because we have so many grasslands and forests and all this stuff. We are already basically a carbon sink, which is not exactly how it's being worded now. But if we do kind of get off of fossil fuels, what do you think that's going to do to the Alberta pension plan potentially?
There is no way we are getting off of fossil fuels anytime soon. If you look at the demand for oil and gas, and especially LNG, which is such a clean burning fuel, if Alberta were truly serious about helping global emissions, we would be exporting our LNG to every country we could, especially countries like China, which are basically still being fueled. Their energy main source is coming from coal. Coal burns dirty, right? Far less clean than LNG. And so there is going to be no shortage of demand. Like I said, look at the 3 countries that have come to Canada. Greece was the most recent one, but Germany, of course, the Chancellor of Germany, and I do believe Japan. And they all wanted our LNG, and there's no shortage. There's a shortage in supply, in my opinion. I don't see any, lack of demand from the economy. And you have to understand too, Alberta's economy is not just oil and gas. I mean, we have a pretty strong economy in a number of other different sectors, and including other natural commodities, but also, we have a small finance sector. We have a small, the biggest threat to any economy, honestly, is government. The government keeps expanding and expanding, but the government does not add anything to the bottom line. It's not adding any productivity, because that can only come from the private sector. So, that's probably the biggest risk to any economy. And Danielle, unfortunately, is not reducing or restricting the size of government. She's been expanding it as well. And that's one of the things for me I would love to see at the next AGM, is for people to start putting pressure on her to start reducing the size of government, not expanding it.
Because that's yet another expenditure. How many government employees does it take to screw in a light bulb? That's a question that I haven't been able to answer yet.
Well, a big one is people look at it and they go, well, government employees pay taxes too. But the problem is they're paying taxes with tax dollars.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah.
So it's like, I've already given you my tax dollars. That's where the productivity was. As a private individual out working in the private industry, there was production, right? So I gave the government $1. Now the government takes that dollar and gives it to a government employee who they give 34 cents back. It doesn't make any sense. There is no productivity there. There's no value add. So government is probably the biggest expense to every Canadian and every Albertan today.